Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, please share your screen.
Yeah, sure. So my screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay. So hello everyone. My name is Kritika and I'm an independent researcher with an interdisciplinary focus on the distinct domain of neurotechnology and cybersecurity. So tonight we are going deeper than the passwords or identity theft. We are stepping into the last frontier of privacy, our thoughts. So ethical AI in neurotechnology isn't a distinct sci-fi problem anymore. It's real, it's here. So let's think about it like we are browsing our history show or what we are looking for, or like our Instagram, what we want people to believe in or see. But when it comes to our brain data, that's the backstage pass to our emotions, our impulses, the secrets we never know we are going to give away. So now you think why I am so much focusing on the brain data. See, the technology isn't coming in some far future distant, and the decisions we make in the next few years will determine whether this incredible technology serves humanity or it is going to control it. So, coming to the agenda, so we will have four broad areas to cover today: the neural revolution, to understand where we are in this technological transformation, the privacy crisis, how our brain data represents a completely new category of personal information, the great neural divide, how AI biases is creating new forms, and we will discover the path forward by discussing the role we can put in shaping the future. So, to carry on forward, before we dive too much into the technical details of it, let's do a quick poll to hear directly from you people what about what concerns you the most and what actually keeps you awake at night. So can we share the poll, please? Okay, so when now the poll has we have got the answers. So what basically keeps us awake at night is the privacy invasion. That's actually when our social media posts, our brain signals are raw and unfiltered, like devices like emotive insights or news can already pick up stress, focus, and relaxation. We can't actually choose what we want to reveal. It's constantly broadcasting in our brain. And unlike a password, we you can't reset your neural signature. It permanents. It's like a DNA. Now, see, whatever be the options you have chosen, all these risks ultimately tie back to one core challenge, that is the privacy of our brain data. So, because whether it's inequality, bias, or hacking, they all depend on unrestricted access to neural signals. And that's where tonight's journey begins. So, we are not waiting for the neural revolution, it's already here. We are living in it. As you can see on the numbers, market numbers, these brain computer interfaces, they are just growing. They are experiencing explosive expansion. These aren't just the experimental technologies in some university labs anymore, they are actually in the market domain. For example, I would say next mind headsets. They let gamers control on-screen actions with thought. Kernel flow is another device which measures our brain activity for performance, for wellness, and artists are experimenting with these neural interfaces that translate thought patterns into music and digital art. There are tools like Muse which actually give real-time feedback on how we meditate and how we focus. This isn't in lab anymore, these are in our classrooms, studios, homes, etc. The mind is becoming a newer interface. And with the brain as the platform, there is no undo button like we do in our codes and our other data sets. Once crossed, some lines cannot be rolled back, and this is one such line. So, what actually our brain data reveals? Maybe what more than what you can even think of it. It's a mirror of our inner world. Neural signals reveal attention levels, hesitation in decisions, confidence, curiosity, or the stress levels. See, I told about the devices like emotive insights. They are there to actually measure our cognitive workload, how much we are stressed we are taking on one particular task. Then there are these marketing companies which are using EEG headsets to track subconscious reactions to our advertisements and everything. Employers that are experimenting with neural variables to gauge the productivity and focus. But here's the leap. You see, most data explains why you did, but coming to the brain data, it predicts what you might do next. It's not just a descriptive thing, it's a predictive one. That's what makes it more powerful and also incredibly risky. Your brain patterns are as unique as your fingerprints, but far more revealing than our fingerprints or iris scans. They expose not just the identity, but our impulses are hidden truths, and you can't swap them. They are with you for the lifetime. So there is an interesting case study. So there happens to be an Indonesian bank which actually launched a mobile app for the financial transactions. So they found that after a few days of launching that app, they found some unusual behavioral activity was going on in their app. So they, with the help of BioCatch device, they what they did is they analyzed the patterns of activities and enhanced the fraud detection. So basically, what BioCatch does is a behavior biometric company which creates cognitive fingerprints. Like they analyze over 500 signals like keystroke rhythms, mouse movements, scrolling patterns, even how you hold your phone, whether there is a change in the pattern of holding the phone. So the result after all these which came was it the BioCatch was successfully able to detect the account takeovers, and they were able to identify the sophisticated fraud attempts and uncovered the financial crimes with improving their fraud detection rate by 400% in just 3 months. But here comes the privacy dilemma. Hidden in that protection is the surveillance of their intimate details about their mental processes, cognitive abilities. For example, typing speed can actually reveal the stress levels. Navigation style exposes the attention span. Micro pauses suggest fatigues. What started as fraud prevention turned into profiling of mental states without consent. Technology is designed to protect us can easily be repurposed into tools that watch us too closely. So we need to completely reimagine our biometric identification in the neural age. Traditional biometrics like fingerprints are static identifiers. They answer who is the person. But neural biometrics are dynamic and revelatory. They actually reveal what you are thinking, feeling, believing in real time. They isn't just about identification, they continuously play a psychological surveillance behind everything. Brain data is already a backstage player, and again, in that comes another continuous psychological surveillance. So there are few devices like I told kernel flow, and now everybody must be aware of Neuralink, which was recently only launched. So they just don't confirm your identity, they reveal what you are thinking and feeling in the real time. See, you can imagine if your mental state constantly being monitored or they are being tracked. Cognitive abilities assessed in real time, it's not just mere reading specific thoughts, but detecting patterns that actually reveal depression, aggression, deception, political leanings. Your brain patterns are becoming the ultimate biometric and not just proving what you are, but revealing who you really are underneath all your social masks. And unlike other biometrics, you can turn off your brain patterns. So speaking of the attempts to read your thoughts directly, let me tell you about a company that tried this and discovered it had gone too far. Coming to another case study, let's rewind to 2017. Facebook hardware division announced something very bold, a brain computer interface that could let you type directly your thoughts, like up to 100 words per minute. No keyboard, no voice. Just you will be thinking, and what you think appears to be on the screen. And their simple goal was to make human communication faster and more seamless. See, imagine you would be posting a social media post without even lifting your finger, or without uh, being engaged into so many devices and then putting it on it. So the result that came was the prototypes, they actually worked, but they were able to capture neural activity in astonishing detail, like translating signals into text. But there was a problem. The system didn't just capture the words people intend to type, it also picked up stray thoughts, background noise in the brain, subconscious reactions. It went deeper than anyone could even expect. So this led to another privacy concern that wasn't just about convenience, is about the unfiltered access to the private stream of human consciousness. This was raised by the this was raised after this prototype project was led in phase one for the before beginning of phase two. So even Facebook owns Layer at a company famous for pushing the boundaries of surveillance. They said this crosses the lines. So in 2021, the project was shut down completely. So we can see one thing from this case study is that when a company built on monetizing something, suppose our personal data only, the brain data is too invasive. We should pay attention because you see, the truth is technology worked, but it was not science fiction. It was simply too dangerous to roll out. This case reminds us that the question isn't whether neurotech is possible, it's whether society is ready to handle the consequences of its success. So let us just pause for a few seconds and examine the AI systems that interpret our brain signals, because when they work, the potential is huge, but when they fail, the consequences even can be even more devastating. Think of it: a financial AI might miscalculate your credit score, annoying but fixable. Now imagine an AI misclassifying your neural signals, flagging hesitation as dishonesty, or interpreting your creative thinking as instability. These aren't just the errors. They are the labels that could follow you back through school, through work, or through even healthcare systems. Cultural differences make this worse. Most neural AI models are trained on data sets. A calm state in one culture might be misread as disengagement in another. The movement of silence could be mistaken for aggression. And unlike a bad credit score, you can't appeal a bad brain score. So once your neural identity is misread, the damage could be permanent. This isn't just about the accuracy, it's about the dignity as well, about whether your minds remain yours or it is misdefined by a flawed algorithm. Collecting brain data is only the start of the risk. The bigger issue is where it goes next. Think about the journey. From a headset like Muse or Emotive, the data travels to cloud servers, maybe into some research databases, research labs, then to some third party vendors, AI vendors. Each handoff creates another point of vulnerability. Already, we can see early signs of what's coming. Marketing companies already testing EEG headbands to fine tune ads. Insurers are exploring cognitive health premiums based on neural makers. Data brokers, the same ones who already sell your browsing history, are preparing to buy and sell neural data. And here's the chilling part, this isn't just about the privacy, it's commodification of thought. Imagine paying higher insurance because your brain shows signs of risk taking. Imagine job applications filtered by subconscious stress responses. Once these thought patterns become tradable assets, the human mind itself becomes a marketplace. And that's one of the most dangerous things. Biases in AI is already there, a problem when it comes to loans, jobs, or policing. But with the brain data, bias isn't just unfair, it's existential. Why? Because most of the brain computer interface research uses narrow data sets, as I told, young Western male participants or female participants to target the most. That means the resulting AI models don't accurately interpret signals from women, older adults, or non-Western populations. These have another implications that a diagnostic headset could misread neural patterns for the entire group. A learning tool might respond accurately to your certain brain data, but see, there are interfaces like Open BCI Galia, which seamlessly serve some users while failing others. That's not innovation. That's exclusion at the level of thought. And exclusion here isn't just inconvenience, it's systematic discrimination shaping who benefits from neural technology and who does not. If we don't fix this, the neural divide could make today's digital divide look small by comparison. Now let's step into the darkest frontier, neurohacking. Hacking has always been about stealing data, credit cards, logins, personal files. But when neural devices connect directly to the brain, hacking means something far scarier, altering perception itself. Attack vectors include uh, attack vectors include interception of brain-computer signals, manipulation of implants, or even injections of false signals. Imagine a device sending artificial calm signals during a crisis, or hackers introducing distraction patterns to disrupt performance. And here's the problem, most consumer neural devices lack serious security. Many headsets use minimal encryption. Certification standards barely exist. And a hacked phone can leak your messages, a hacked brain can rewrite your reality. This isn't a futuristic scenario, it's a foreseeable risk in a world where thought itself becomes part of the digital network. So, again, see in detail, we can see the case study for Neuralink. They revealed its first human patient, Norlange Arbog, which on whom they implanted their telepathy device. So for the first time, someone paralyzed from the shoulders down could browse through the web play online chess, and control a computer just by thinking. The demonstration was breathtaking, and headlines they actually called it miraculous. To the person himself, it felt like it was a life changing thing because he was regaining independence after years of immobility. This showed the enormous promise of the brain computer interfaces that we call BCIs to restore the abilities and transform healthcare. Again, the privacy concern. Unlike traditional clinical trials, much of Neuralink's data remained proprietary. Scientists had little access to verify claims. Who really owned these brain signals? The patient or the company? No one knew. What happens if Neuralink faces financial collapse? Could the device be safely removed if complications arise? The questions are yet to be answered. The Neuralink case illustrates both the breathtaking potential and the unprecedented ethical gaps of this revolution. Surely you might think that there are policies which are keeping us safe, but unfortunately, the regulation is lagging behind. See, there still needs to be treated with the brain data interfaces, which actually use newer models under the old medical device frameworks. Nothing accounts for the fact that these tools deal with these with thoughts. So, like a neural data, after all, we can't delete a brain signature that's permanent. So there should be some regulation to how to handle our brain data like any other data. And in most of the world, there are no regulations at all. Countries have stronger protections for emails and selfies than a brain pattern. Your grocery royalty card can be legally safer than your neural signals. We are actually flying blind into one of the most transformative technologies in human history without a map, without a guardrail, without a clearer plan for the rights of the mind. But it's not all bleak. There is hope. There is all that is already taking shape. So in 2021, Chile became the first country to enshrine neuro rights in its constitution. That's a very big move that has been taken. Mental privacy, cognitive liberty, and psychological continuity and free will, these things are protected by fundamental rights. They are placing the brain data on the same levels as organs. UNESCO is leading global cooperation with 994 members states discussing the ethical frameworks. Meanwhile, inventors are working on the solutions. Kernel Flow is testing privacy preserving analysis methods. Researchers are already using federated learning, so raw brain data never leaves the device. Even big tech, under the pressure, is slowly investing in ethical AI frameworks. So, yes, the risks are massive, but so is the opportunity. So, we have a genuine chance to build neurotechnology with human dignity at the center. So after discussing everything, so let's come what is neural ethics basically. So this neural ethics stand on four broad pillars. As you can see, neural autonomy, cognitive liberty, neural justice, and transparency. All these pillars are just interconnected with each other. They cannot have autonomy without the liberty. You cannot have justice without transparency. Each supports the other, and together they form the foundation for a fair neural age. They aren't just the abstract ideas, they are already being written into the constitutions, tested in labs, and debated in international forums. They are the blueprint for how we protect the most private space of all, the human mind. So let's deep dive into the first two, neural autonomy and cognitive liberty. These focus on the individual, that is us, you, your right to control your mind. Neural autonomy is the power to decide what happens with the brain data. You should have the final word on who will collect your data, how it is stored, and how it is used for. If brain computer interfaces one day promise enhanced memory, faster learning, or sharper focus, autonomy means you should choose whether to use them, or you cannot be forced or discriminated against if you say no. And when it comes to cognitive liberty, it's not just about the consent forms, it's about the mental privacy as a human right. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs remain yours unless you decide to share them. Neural data should belong to the individual, never a corporation or a government. At the heart of these pillars is one simple truth: your mind is sovereign territory. Nobody should enter without your invitation. Coming to the next two pillars, neural justice and transparency. They are about collective fairness and accountability. Neural justice, it actually makes sure the neural technology doesn't deepen the existing inequalities. Right now, most research is trained on narrow groups, which risk leaving huge parts of humanity behind. Justice means inclusive design, systems that work across different cultures, genders, and cognitive styles. It also means ensuring that access isn't limited to those who can pay premium prices. Neurotech should not create a privileged class out of enhanced humans while others are excluded. Transparency is the safeguard. It means companies can't hide behind the black boxes. They must clearly explain how neural systems make decisions and what data is being collected and why. The biggest question is why it is being collected. So it also means there is real accountability when things go wrong. Because with brain data, mistakes can't be brushed off as bugs. Code can be debugged. Brain pattern analysis cannot be. So together, justice and transparency ensure neurotech does not just serve the few, it serves all of the humanity fairly and openly. So among all the four pillars, which among them is the most challenging? Let's have a poll in this question as well. So everybody must choose whichever option you feel like, but the most important of them is neural autonomy. Because in reality, choice is rarely free. Employers might encourage neural variables for productivity. Insurance might require cognitive tracking for the discount purposes. So these incentives and pressures creep in, autonomy stops being a choice and starts being a coercion. Whatever be the choice you have chosen, here the challenge is they can't exist in isolation. Because if these technologies only serve a privileged few, the system fails before it even begins. So this brings us to the most important part: what can you do? As a technology professional, we should advocate for privacy by design in every neural project, push for diverse development teams, implement bias testing before deployment. We should prioritize security from the ground up. When you are in meetings, reviewing code, making design decisions, ask whose neural patterns are we training on? How are we protecting this data? What happens if this system fails? These should be the questions that should be asked. So when it comes to healthcare workers, we need to educate the patients about their neural data implications beyond immediate medical benefits. We need to advocate for ethical policies within the institutions. We need to ensure truly informed consent, not just a legal compliance. For the policymakers, there is a need to develop neuro-specific data protection laws with international cooperation efforts, serving all populations. So we need to prioritize public interest over corporate profits. So as a citizens, there is a need to stay informed about our neural privacy rights. Demand transparency from the neurotech companies. We need to support our organizations advocating for cognitive liberty. We need to There is a need for the citizens to engage in the public disclosure about their brain privacy. Yes, our choice matters, our voice matters. Our actions will help determine whether neurotech enhances human dignity or undermines it. So let me close with the essential key takeaways from tonight. Brain data is uniquely intimate and current frameworks can't protect it. Secondly, regulation is lagging. We have stronger laws for email than our thoughts. The next few months will set precedents for the decades to come. The stakes are human dignity, autonomy, and freedom of thought. This isn't just technology, it's the future of consciousness itself. So, we are standing at the crossroads in human history. So, neurotechnology can heal, empower, and expand human potential, or it can become the most invasive surveillance system ever created. The outcome depends on us. The question isn't whether neurotech will advance, the question is will it advance with humans' best interest at heart? That's the choice in our hands. So, thank you so much. I'm open to question and answers.
Hello. Yeah, so as we have not got any single question on the YouTube chat and here as well, I'm asking if anyone wants to share some question or join us on stage or just wave a hi to the speaker or the community. Also, live chat is open on YouTube. If anyone wants to ask us, you can drop in. I will just ask the speaker here. So, without delaying much, I would like to add few questions for you, Kritika. Like you have shared this much, and like you mentioned, there are not much policies about this. So, how are these judgment makes on these decisions then, if something occurs? I'm just wondering that. Any idea about that, or any opinion which you would like to share, like this should be there or something?
See, if any incident occurs now, there is no proper. body which can actually handle the questions related to brain data. See, I told you there the regulations are not there, the framework is not there. So whenever the question related to brain data comes, na, everybody ignores it, thinking what might be the risk if a brain signal is like hacked or being leaked or being misused by a person. So they are least bothered about the brain data because it hasn't been in talks much.
Okay, I see. So my second question is that like you have joined us, so what will be the one piece of advice that you would like for all the community members watching this right now or afterwards, like what they should be their perspective on this, or like how future generations should work on this, like it's lacking that right now, so what should be the next step to work on it?
Uh, Awareness is one thing. You should be aware of what is going around your surroundings. You should not stick to just one thing. Like if you are a software developer, you stick to just what a code can do, but you are not concerned about what's actually going around in your around yourself, around the world. So awareness is one thing. Like in cybersecurity, we say that to prevent fraud, awareness is one thing. Like in neurotech also, there are so many devices available in the market which actually performs different functions and actually have different potentials. So awareness is one thing. You may not use it for yourself, knowing them and how they work is one thing. You can guide someone who needs it. So I would definitely say be aware of your surroundings.
Okay, so any my third question is like what are the types of degrees and courses that if someone is interested in pursuing this domain further, if you could share one piece of advice, or like what are the opportunities in this field that students can get or benefit from?
Opportunities is like there are so many courses online to learn from. If you are really interested into knowing how your brain works, you should definitely enroll into one of the courses in neuroscience that actually reveals how your brain signals are performing and they're actually functioning. So if somebody is too much interested into the research domain, they can definitely explore areas. Google is one thing, one platform we all know, and you can definitely collaborate and talk to me in what specific terms you wish to research in this domain, because it's a vast scale research which has to be done, and which is actually going on, and I'm already researching on few things in under this. So if anybody is interested, so they can actually join me and send the request on the LinkedIn, and I'm open to collaborate.
Okay, so as we don't have much questions today, if I get some from this attendees watching afterwards, I will just share it with you. So before ending, I would just like to ask you your opinion apart from this domain, like what you would like to share to this community or the others, just apart from this domain, like for the life or something, a lesson.
Okay, apart from this, apart from you are asking me to share apart from what I currently pursuing.
Yes.
Oh, okay. See, there is nothing. I would say the younger generation is curious enough to know things. So make this curiosity into a research oriented platform. You should convert your curiosity into something which will actually benefit you in the longer run. Don't keep it to yourself. Talk to your community members, talk to your seniors, the people you know around, because see, social media is a platform. Instead of focusing on something misleading or misinformation or being sharing so many unwanted things, talk to people who are actually doing something interesting, something new. You will definitely learn a lot from them. This is one piece of advice, because I have seen the generation today. They are more curious than what we can actually think of. Their questions actually make us think, yes, this might also be a possibility. That's why I would say talk to your community members, grow your network in a meaningful way, not just sending useless messages and engaging in some unwanted things.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. Your session was really insightful. I really enjoyed it personally. And apart from that, we have been getting so many business topics related to AI. For the first time, we got some bio into it and related to brain and neurotechnology, which was really quite insightful and little bit different from the things which we are getting too much. So it was nice connecting with you. Thank you so much. If you would like to share something more, the stage is open. Otherwise, we can just end the session.
I'm good to go.
Okay. Good luck.
Yeah.